Yo, Dr.Trehunna. So, because we all lived in America, right? A lot of people, when they're just trying to go on a fat loss journey or whatever, they heard, or specifically a lot of women heard, that, hey, having too much protein is bad for you. A, why? Because you're not trying to get bulky like a man. Or two, protein can cause cancer. All right, so today what we're going to cover is why do a subset of people say protein can cause cancer, okay, and why that's really not the case. It's about the full scope of how you're actually eating day to day, okay? So in order for you to understand the human body, I want you to think about your body like a car. All right, so when you first buy a brand new car, what are you doing? You're driving it all around. You don't even gotta put no oil in it. You're good to go for like the first 5 to 6 months, right? And then there's certain times of days or you have to actually maintenance with your car. So you probably gotta get it a tune up. You probably gotta get some new oil or get your oil changed, etc. Might need some new brakes, whatever that may be, okay? So your body's kind of like the same way, all right? But what we do is, because we're not experiencing no crazy symptoms, right? Your body's literally letting you know, hey, something might be off. Let's say you got some brain fog, right? And you just attribute to it that, hey, I might be off a little bit, right? Or for some odd reason, you just got low energy and you're like, okay, well, I used to, have a little bit more energy. I used to be a little bit energetic, but I don't have that same, spunk as I usually do, right? But you say, you know what, I'm just having an off day. You're attributing all these things as you having an off day, right? But in a sense, like if in relation to a car, basically your transmission light or them lights are coming on your car or your dashboard, right? And you're just not doing anything about it. You just continue to drive your car. Just like, once again, you're having these symptoms and your body's letting you know, hey, something might be off, right? But then you continue to go throughout your day thinking of another until something drastic happens, right? And then you go to the hospital, right? When you like pass out and it's kind of already too late because your body's been experiencing these symptoms all these times. Just like if you continue to drive on brakes, right? And you hear the screeching on the brakes, but you do not go ahead and get some new brakes on a car, what's going to happen is one day you're going to try to actually brake, and when it's too late, you're going to go ahead and hit somebody from the tail side. Because why? You didn't have new brakes, right? But you waited until it was too late. All right, so what protein basically do, right, it stimulates something in your body called mammalian target rapamycin. All right, and what this basically do is a growth factor. So it basically tells all your cells to grow. Simple. All right. That's why protein is, once again, a building block for the body. Your body, when you give it protein, is going to use this thing to go ahead and build your enzymes that's happening in your body. Okay. Your antigens or your autobodies that's basically floating around in your bloodstream for your immune system. Right. Your hair, skin, nails is made of protein, literally. Okay. So your body does not want to use protein as really an energy source to continue to make the body go, and want to use this thing to help grow the body, okay? Make it better, make you more, your skin a little bit more radiant, a little bit more vibrant, okay? Make your hair grow a little bit longer, etc. All right. Now, your body can run off 2 different types of fuel sources, okay? It could be fat, it could be carbs, okay? Now, your body already has fat stored, so it's easier for your body to run off fat, but because we was taught in the way we use food, and because we live in America, majority of the foods that we eat are carbs, which is an alternative source for fuel. So just to give you an idea, the human body, believe it or not, if you stop eating carbs today and you live till 90 years old, you won't have no issues, right? But if you continue to eat a lot of carbs, right, and your body becomes basically metabolically inflexible, which means what? You gave your body so much carbs a whole duration of time that your body basically forgot how to use its own body fat, that can kill you faster. So you're actually taking away from your lifespan, okay? 2 things can basically stimulate mTOR, okay? Mammalian target rapamycin, which is protein or carbs, okay? Once again, protein is gonna make your body build, okay? And carbs is just an alternative source of fuel, okay? But carbs also basically tell your body to store, okay? One is telling your body to build, one is telling your body to store, okay? Both of these helps your body, once again, grow, all right? Now, with that being said, what happens is, because we live in America, right? And because America been known for, things such as protecting the animals, PETA so happened to be founded in America, right? They start pushing a lot of, research that's basically confirmation bias, which means they're only pushing research where they basically nitpicking to figure out, hey, what basically helps us push this narrative that protein is bad for you. Okay, so what they do is they literally cherry pick. So they go do a data, they fund a data, which means what? It's kind of like if I'm basically in a relationship with you And you're asking me, hey, Trey, you was out last night. What was you doing? And I say, oh, well, just talk to my man's Jamal, right? And my man's basically vouch for me and saying, yo, yeah, he wasn't out in the club last night. He wasn't, popping bottles. He was with me, right? That's basically what they're kind of doing nowadays. So what happens is they're basically cherry picking data to basically find out why you should go quote unquote plant-based. And one of the data that they actually found out, right, but they don't give you no more information on it is, hey, the more protein you have, right, you're actually stimulating this mTOR, once again, mammalian target of rapamycin, and that's basically you causing your cells to grow. And guess what type of cells also is growing? Cancerous cells. Okay, so what they basically said is, hey, this protein is making all cells grow. What they basically alluded to is to make you start going plant-based, right? Or for you to stop eating a high protein-based diet is, hey, protein causes cancer. Simple. All right. And when the average person who don't know anything about nutrition or the human physiology, they come across this information, guess what they're going to stop doing? Oh, let me stop eating protein. Okay. Or, oh, let me go plant-based because it's quote unquote healthier. Right. Even though ironically, when you start getting older throughout, your years, you need more protein, which is going to help you live longer. The more muscle you have on the human frame, especially once you get past 50, the longer you live. It's that simple. Why? Because when people get older, what happens? Sarcopenia starts to happen, which means it's the breakdown of muscle, right? And cortisol is higher, which breaks down your muscle even more. You have that hip fracture, you out for the count. You can't get up. That's why you seen them Life Alert commercials, right? Oh, I cannot get up, and you're sitting there with your broken hip for 5 hours, and you basically die because nobody helped you, okay? And you didn't have no Life Alert, all right? So, believe it or not, you need more protein. But once again, protein basically stimulates this thing, and also carbs stimulate this thing. And not just any type of carbs, not your regular broccoli. It is that pizza, it is that cake, it is that processed foods or starchy carbs, rice, wheat, grain, etc. Okay? So, the main issue nowadays, which is why you see a lot of people having more weight problems, and a lot of people, believe it or not, the main 3 leading causes of death now is what? It is cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes. All of these are metabolic diseases, which means what? These are diseases that basically you could have prevented, but you didn't know anything about nutrition, okay? And all of these are mitochondrial diseases, which means what? You basically, through time, it didn't happen overnight, but through times, right? And you could be genetically predisposed, but ultimately your lifestyle has to make these genes be expressed in the first place, which means what? It's in your control environment, right? Basically, because you didn't know anything about nutrition, it was a snowball effect. That snowball was smaller, you started to grow a cancer cell, right? And then it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger due to your habits and your lifestyle, okay? So the main thing for you, so you're not having cancer, or why you should not be afraid of protein to have cancer, is not about how much protein you eat that gets people fat, right? It is actually your lifestyle as far as the frequency of you eating and what majority of the times the food you are consuming. So when you have protein, it's an acute response that happens in your body to spike mTOR, okay? So it's only gonna be up about 3 to 4 hours, okay? You need about 30 grams of protein for that to be stimulated, okay? But not only protein stimulates it, you having carbs over like 30 to 25 grams, it's gonna stimulate it too. And guess what? If you have something called, like for instance, Haribos, right? Or some gummy bears, right? Or some Doritos. If you actually look at the back of the bag, majority of them things have more than 25 grams to 30 grams of carbs. So mTOR is now being spiked. But not only is being spiked, because you're having that Doritos, right? Or because nobody taught you about nutrition, majority of your foods consist of what? Carbs, right? And you're spiking this mTOR, which is making all cells grow, even cancerous cells, all throughout the day. So the average American eats 14 to 16 hours out the day, right? Now, if there's only 24 hours in a day and you're spiking this mTOR, 14 to 16 hours out the day, you're giving your body more time to grow any type of cell, even cancerous cells, versus you giving your body any time to repair itself. right? So when you're not eating, what you're basically doing is telling your body, hey, I want you to repair everything else going wrong. So basically, like if you had a car, once again, you're basically taking it to a mechanic and say, hey, for some odd reason, I see the engine light on and I see a lot of lights on the dashboard on. I need you to fix all these things, okay? And your body will be able to do that if you give it time to repair itself. But the average person, because we're eating 5 to 6 times a day, and you was taught, oh, if you eat 5 to 6 times a day, it's gonna magically boost your metabolism, right? And that's the case, right? It's gonna boost your metabolism, right? It's gonna boost your metabolism to the point where you're gonna die faster. Because ironically, the faster your metabolism, the faster you die. Believe it or not. So you don't really want a fast metabolism. You want a manageable metabolism, okay? Now, with that being said, if you actually do an intermittent fasting window, which majority of me and all my clients, I teach them to do that, right? And you're having more protein on your plate, right? And you're only eating 6 to 8 hours out the day. 8 hours might be spiked. Let's say you get spiked 3 times because you eat 3 meals and in a span of every 2 hours, right? But it's in a 6-hour window. That is totally different from you having 4 to 5 meals, right? Or 3 meals and 2 snacks throughout the course of 8 o'clock when you first wake up, and that consists of your Starbucks. If it has all the crazy creams and almond milk and fudge and caramel and all that stuff, you're spiking mTOR, right? To your first snack of the day, which you probably have some fruit, some berries, some mangoes, a banana, your mTOR is spiked. Then you have your lunch, which is, you might go somewhere real quick, get something quick fast, but you see you got the bread, rice, and all that stuff, which mTOR is being spiked. And then you get home, grab your little Nature's Valley granola bar, and your mTOR is being spiked. And then later during the day, you have your dinner. And don't let you have that wine at the end of the day, and don't let you have that dinner. You see what I'm saying? Or that dessert right after dinner. So this is what's causing mTOR to spike. You having meals spaced out throughout the whole span of the day, 6 to 7 times a day, and that's why you see cancer rates is going up. Because you're never giving your body a chance to repair itself. So believe it or not, you got cancer cells floating in your body right now. But because your immune system is so robust, right, and is able to do its job properly, it's able to kill it off. But once again, if you continue, just like a car, if you are driving that car and you see a whole bunch of lights on your dashboard, and you're like, you know what, I don't got the money for it, I'm gonna go ahead and keep riding it. And then one day it breaks down on you and your engine blows, now something that you could have fixed that was $500, now it's $5,000. The same thing applies with the human body. You gotta give your body time to repair itself. The only way your body is able to repair itself is you not putting food in your mouth, you dropping the fork. Okay? So if you are eating protein, once again, your body needs protein, okay? Just keep in mind, it's not about what you're really eating that gives people problems, it's the frequency. Okay, but all my clients already know, you're trying to see that scale drop, you have to have more protein on your plate because protein signals to your body to literally lose fat, and that's the only thing that speeds up your metabolism, right? Which means what? Your body's gonna lose fat more efficiently, right? But we also, like me, okay, we also eat in a 6 to 8 hour window, which means what? 8 hours out the day, mTOR might be spiked. But the other 16 hours, you know what's not doing? mTOR is not being spiked. So I'm giving my body double the time of mTOR being suppressed than spiked. Versus somebody like you, and you're eating 16 hours out the day or 14 hours out the day, 8 to 8 or 8 to 10 or 6 to 10 or whatever that may be, right? And mTOR is being spiked all throughout the day, right? And then the only time your body's able to suppress it is when you sleep. But right after you wake up, you're not even thinking about, am I hungry or not? Oh, I just gotta have some fuel in my stomach. You start eating again, and the cycle goes again. So because you're not giving your body any time to repair itself through the time of you're not eating, right? There's problems that's happening or arising in your body. You start to experience some symptoms, some brain fog, right? Some, some bloating or whatever, right? Or you start feeling some arthritis or some inflammation in your body. And you're like, oh, well, I'm just not feeling that good that day. And you just keep going throughout your day. And now you just have something crazy happens. And then you go to the doctor and they say, yo, you got cancer. Why? Because you're eating all day. And you're eating not just any type of carbs. Once again, broccoli is not giving you cancer. That asparagus is not giving you cancer. That bread, that processed foods is giving you cancer, okay? Things that people had to create in the lab, right? Bread is only wheat and flour. Now look at your bread ingredients list. It's more than just wheat and flour. It's that, okay? So now that you understand this information, okay, what I want you to do is, if you're somebody trying to lose weight, do not be afraid of protein. You need to have more protein on your plate than anything else if you need to see the scale drop, okay? Protein signals to your body to lose fat, okay? But also context is key. Protein doesn't give you cancer, or if it does give you cancer, carbs is also giving you the exact same cancer times 10. Okay? Your body's gonna get cancer faster you having a whole bunch of processed carbs than protein. Simple. okay? And the very last reason why they said protein might give you cancer is because if you actually look at the browning of foods, okay, it's called a Maillard reaction, okay? It's the browning effect. And basically, the browner your food is, the more carcinogens you actually bring into your body. And when you consume it, it's gonna cause more oxidative stress, all right? So for instance, that's why you see people of, you know, Caucasian or Asians, believe it or not, they have more medium or rare meat. That's healthier than your ass going out to Outback Steakhouse or Ruth Chris and you getting your steak well done. Or you getting your burger well done, okay? So if you're trying to be a stickler, then you want to be somebody who's getting your meat medium well, okay? Because the darker the meat, the more oxidation you're causing to the meat and the more stress you're gonna give to your body when you consume this thing. So always keep that in mind. Believe it or not, that medium rare, that medium meat is better than that well done or medium well meat, okay? So context is key. And that's why also the best type of drinks so happen to be things that come from, that's clear drinks. Like a Sprite Zero is gonna be better than the Coke Zero, okay? You can have them both, but if you're trying to be a stickler, that Sprite Zero is gonna be better than Coke Zero, all right? Hopefully y'all learned something today, okay? Protein, once again, won't cause you cancer. It's what you're doing along with that protein. You eating all damn day and you're not paying attention to what you're having with that protein. You're having that burger with the bun, with the mayonnaise, with the lettuce, with the fries, with the soda. That's what's gonna give you cancer, okay? Because soda has a whole lot of carbs, a whole lot of sugar, and that fries got a whole lot of carbs and a whole lot of vegetable oils that's not good for you, okay? So hopefully I learned something today, and that's your reset tip of the day. It's gonna help you stay snatched all the time, not only sometime. Do not fear protein, ladies, okay? Be afraid of carbs, processed foods, and the frequency of you eating them carbs and processed foods, all right? Talk to you soon.